Our team, our community. This is CondorsTown, and this is another Energy Condors connection. Now, here's Eric Fox and Ryan Holt.
What up, B-Town? It's Erik Fox from Energy 95.3, and we're a little late today because we had to go north of the border, so, we had to go through customs and clear everything, but we are finally live with Ryan Holt in Abbotsford, British Columbia, because it's not Columbia, it's British Columbia up there. What's going on, my friend?
I'm good. Yeah, we got morning skate going on now and getting ready for two big games here this week. It's a busy schedule, and the guys are playing well, which is great. So everyone's in good spirits. Long travel day yesterday, as you mentioned, but we're ready to go.
Well, our stream is now across the border, so we are now live in two continents or two countries. So hopefully we're not going to make an international incident as we talk about what's going on with everyone. But let's start, as we always do. We talk with the Edmonton Oilers, the parent organization of your Baco Birds. Obviously, last week was a big week. Canadian sports media go crazy for it, but it's trade deadline week. Let's talk about what happened, because not so much at the deadline, but a lot of things before the deadline.
Yeah, the Oilers acquired Adam Henrique and Sam Carrick from the Anaheim Ducks, and those are two nice additions up front for the Oilers. And from a Condors perspective, we didn't lose anything. There was some draft picks that were sent the other way, but there was nothing off the current roster that kind of changed things. So from our perspective, that's a positive, and it's a positive, I think, overall for the organization, because Edmonton didn't have to give up anything, of current, value
Right.
at the NHL level. So if you're looking at it from the Oilers' perspective, they gained two big pieces, they think, up front. And from a Condors perspective, Bakersfield didn't lose anybody and gained Sam Gagner and Dylan Holloway. So, two elite players, at the AHL level at minimum. So I think it's a win-win for everybody. Usually it isn't a win-win for everybody. Usually, the NHL team will sacrifice the AHL team for, their own purposes, which is, why we're all here, basically, to support the NHL club. But,
Right.
That's often the case, but you get a win-win for everybody. I mean, we'll take it.
Let's talk about that, because obviously it's painful to admit. I am a Ducks fan, because it's been painful to watch, but I know Henrique has been such a valuable, not only on the ice, but also a veteran presence in the locker room. And you got Carrick, who is up and coming and is going to be amazing. What does that add to the lines?
Yeah, I think it kind of stretches everybody out into spots that they want to be in, and they're probably ready for right now. Henrique's a top six guy with the Oilers, and, Carrick kind of fills a role down in that bottom six. And, then they get Troy Stetcher on the back end for nothing, basically. And, he's a guy who could play big minutes on the back end, but, is likely the seventh defenseman going into the postseason. So, I think it adds some depth. It adds some veteran presence, as you mentioned, up front. And at the end of the day, it makes, the Oilers in their mind better. And, that's, what they're rolling with. And, these are the teams for the rest of the year, basically, for Bakersfield and Edmonton, barring injury or barring, something happening. This is it. So, I think the Oilers are poised, obviously, to be a, contender in the West. And, we'll see what happens here down the stretch.
Let's go and talk about that, because obviously the trade deadline, the whole point of it is to get all the teams in their configuration heading into playoffs. Right now, Edmonton is second in the Pacific. And in fact, tonight we have our first possible elimination, where if the Sharks lose and Vegas wins tonight, the Sharks are completely out of the playoffs. So like we were talking at the start of the season, when Edmonton had some struggles, it's a good thing where that's not the barometer of where the season is, but it is now. What is the outlook for the rest of the season?
Yeah, I think it's about, playing your best hockey going into April. That's what you want to be doing. You don't want to be peaking in November or December. You want to be playing your best hockey, going into April. And as we've seen, you are what you are over the course of the season, and I think that's why everyone, quick to judge back in November. Remember, the Oilers had a worse record than the Sharks, a month into the season. Our pets' heads were falling off. Everything was going sideways. And then, we kind of said, hey, let's wait till the end of the year. And now the cream has rise to the top, as it usually does. Are they going to be able to catch Vancouver? I don't know. But, they put themselves in a good spot here. And, one reason why they didn't have to make any moves between the pipes is because Skinner and Pickard have been so good for them, and Pickard's been, a great backup and a number 2 for Stuart Skinner as well too. So, I think they're ready for what's to come. Does it land you a Stanley Cup? No, but they're in the fight and contention. That's all you can ask for.
Let's go and talk about the local team. Awkward transition there, but we'll do that anyways. But let's talk about what happens here locally. We said already that we got some pieces from Edmonton as part of all the trades that went up there and didn't lose anything locally. But right now we need to look at the tail end of our season. 2 big wins that we knew we had to get the W's out of Colorado on Friday and Saturday, and we got them. So what are we seeing?
Yeah, I mean, that's a red-hot Colorado team too. So those are, I think I tweeted it out over the weekend. That might be as an impressive weekend as the Condors have had, based off how Colorado's playing. They had won 18 out of 22 games, and they were 16-2 against everybody not named the Condors. So, for Bakersfield to get not 1 but 2 wins against them is pretty good. It's very good actually. And the fact is 2 of them, you only allowed 2 goals in those games, and one of them was on the power play. So, just a dominant performance on Saturday, 6-1 over the Eagles. 2 big goals from Cameron Wright, 3 points from Lane Peterson, and that's a big weekend for the club.
So going to talk about, obviously, we've been talking about games in hand for most of the season because Baco has played less games than most people, but that is becoming less of the case now, where we are maybe 2 games in hand on a couple teams here. We need the big wins out of Colorado, but tonight, Abbotsford, who has struggled a little bit as of late, we need to get the W's out of them today and tomorrow, right?
Yeah, this is a tough place for us to play. We've lost 7 in a row here, so this is another hurdle for this team to get over. Abbotsford has treaded water. There's only 5 points separating 2 through 7 right now in the Pacific. The Condors are in the best position out of anybody in that kind of cluster because we do have those 2-3 games in hand on everybody. So for Bakersfield, you beat teams like this, you're gaining 4 points because you're winning and they're losing, but you're also not playing those games in hand. So that's a big one this weekend. I think just from a mental hurdle, just to get past this Abbotsford club, they always seem to play us tough. They've been a thorn in our side for a long time now. This is a big weekend. Again, another test that, this team has proven time and time again that they pass, but, this is a test certainly for us.
We got a weird stand here because we obviously have a game today and tomorrow in Abbotsford. Then you guys are coming home this weekend, and then you're going back to Canada. But the game is versus Ontario, and like we were talking before we went live, why don't we just have rain go up there because Ontario's over to your province up there, so we might as well make it a whole Canadian thing.
Yeah, and Ontario was just in Calgary too, so I don't know when we make up these games because Ontario's playing 5 games this week, but we apparently make them up at some point. So it's a fun time of the year though. The guys are playing well, and that's all you can ask for.
So going to talk about the prep for these 2 games and this game this weekend, and that run back and forth across the border. How does it do for the team and the players when they got to do that much motion?
Yeah, I think when you add a guy like Sam Gagner, I mean, he's played 1,100 games in the NHL. I don't think you need to tell him much about how to play. Dylan Holloway's a stud first rounder who is going to have a lengthy NHL career, and to add those 2 pieces is huge, especially for a Condors offense that can use a piece or 2, and to have those 2 really makes a world of difference just in terms of speed and in terms of, that savvy and that presence up front. So, it's, does it shift guys around? Yeah. Does it, force some internal competition? Absolutely. But, at the end of the day, Sam Gagner and Dylan Holloway are going to play, and they're going to play well. So we'll have to see what happens here. But you add those 2, it's a pretty nice piece.
Sorry for a little internet hiccup there. It's probably some moose somewhere doing something, but sorry about that.
We'll blame the rain up here. I haven't seen the sun in 3 years up here. So
let's go and talk about people want to check out the game tonight or tomorrow in Abbotsford. What do people need to do besides try to book a trip to up there?
Yeah, don't come. AHL TV is where you need to be. AHLTV.com. It's available on every smart device that you can think of.
And then Saturday night here versus the Reign, a team that we really need to take the W out of as well.
Yeah, Star Wars night tickets are going fast, so I recommend you getting them now. CondorsTown. We've got the Star Wars pack. We've got a golden ticket raffle. We got specialty jerseys. We got the characters from the movies. We've got lightsaber giveaway. So a lot going on Saturday night. It's going to be a big crowd. Going to be a lot of fun.
I will say, probably not the line that we saw for Bluey this past weekend.
No, but there was a long line for Bluey. Star Wars, we tend to space everybody out on the concourse. But yeah, I mean, that's CondorsTown in a nutshell, right? We've got Bluey, we've got $2 beer Fridays, and we've got Star Wars. I mean, we hit you with everything here.
Love that. So we'll talk next week on Tuesday, where you'll be back on the other side of the border. Somehow you're going to make like the zigzag, but we'll miss that. But we'll catch you in Calgary, my friend.
I'll catch you in Calgary. Take care.
All right. Ryan Holt from the Bakersfield Condors. My name is Erik Fox from Energy 95.3. Appreciate you checking us every week as we get caught up on all things CondorsTown right here with your Energy Condors Connection. We will catch you next time.